Everyone, welcome to this edition of Stream On. I'm Jim Williams, your host. Now, we hope that all of you are, like we are, hunkered down and working from home and trying to find something out there that is of interest and fun. Well, Monday night on Acorn TV, they're going to start streaming a movie. Now, this movie is the first film that Acorn TV has ever made, and it stars Essie Davis in the title role of Miss Fisher, and the film is called Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears. Now, we all know that Essie Davis had played the outstanding role of Phryne Fisher for 3 seasons. And Miss Fisher's Mysteries, which started in 2012 through 2015, 34 episodes, 3 seasons of the series, was a huge hit in Australia, where it began on ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Company. Then it went worldwide and became a global phenomenon. Here in the United States, it streams on Acorn TV, where you can see all 3 seasons of the show. As I said, 34 episodes with Phryne Fisher, Essie Davis playing that title role. Now, the fans desperately wanted more Miss Fisher. Well, again, Essie Davis being a worldwide megastar at this point, didn't have time to do that, but setting them down and getting them together for Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears, a full-blown, outstanding theatrical release, was something that she definitely wanted to do, and the fans desperately wanted to see it. Now, it would not have come about had it not been for our guests today. And those guests are, of course, Fiona Eagger, the executive producer of Miss Fisher's Crypt of Tears and co-creator and producer of Miss Fisher Murder Mysteries, and her partner in crime, Deb Cox, the screenwriter and executive producer of Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears, and co-creator and producer of Miss Fisher's Mysteries. Fiona and Deb, let's talk a little bit about how this came about. I know the fans were a driving force, but let's talk about Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears.
Oh, well, we've been overwhelmed. As you may or may not know, it sort of came about by necessity because we'd done 3 series of the television show with Essie Davis in the lead, and she'd moved to London, and we thought we wanted more of that world, and the fans clearly wanted more. They were very vocal and demanding more. Somehow we had to do more. So Fee and I, it began as a whim with us saying, what if we did a feature film? Maybe that would work. And then bit by bit, it garnered kind of ballast. And then once we put it out there to the fans with our crowdfunding initiative, we realized that there was no going back after that.
Yes, so it's been a delightful sort of journey, really, of going something like, how can we keep the brand, how can we keep the world alive? We love being in the orbit of Miss Fisher, and the fans do. And so Crypt of Tears was born, and here we are, celebrating its release. It's just had its first week in Australia, the domestic theatrical release, and it's doing well in the box office. We've had fantastic openings with all fans coming from all around the world to take part, and it really sustains us. As much as the film sustains the fans sustain us.
Well, it's got to be pretty amazing to have Acorn's first ever feature film be your film.
Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, Acorn have been with us since the beginning of this journey. Deb and I, we met with the Acorn folks at our first market where we were taking Miss Fisher, the first series, and I think they were releasing the DVD in the UK, and we sat down, and they've been such supporters of us and the brand that we're thrilled that it's at home with Acorn.
So obviously Essie Davis is back. I assume Nathan Page, who of course is our favorite, Detective Inspector Jack Robinson, and Ashleigh Cummings, who's Dot, and Hugo Johnson Burt, who plays, of course, Hugh. How tough was it to get the gang back?
Oh. Yes, they're all very busy people in their own right. But they do love the characters and they do love the world. So it was, fitting into Essie's busy schedule took time because she had a number of films. So she was doing the history of the Kelly gang and her husband was the director. So rightly he took right of place with the schedule. But also, like Ashleigh Cummings, her career's taken off in America. She was shooting a television series there. So we thought we weren't going to, really hard to get her to come in and play Dot. We moved the schedule so it fitted around Thanksgiving weekend because she got like 2 days off in her shooting schedule. So we had to fly her from Boston to LA to Melbourne. She had 9 hours on the ground here before she had to go back for filming. And that's how committed she was, that she was willing in her few days off to travel all this way just so she could honour that character.
Wow, that is dedication to wanting to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that cast, when they came back together, the first scene that we shot with them all together on the docks was at night, and it was cold, and it was so atmospheric, and everyone came together for the first time after doing the series, and it was very emotional. It was such a reunion for them as well, and we were so glad. It seemed like a crazy thing to do in some ways, but it was very worth it.
Deb and Fiona, with regards to one of the things that I think fans enjoy so much about the character Phryne and Dot and the gang is that there was an amazing chemistry there. And you can't, as producers and your writers and your directors and the rest, everybody all together have weaved together such a wonderful cast who play off each other so well. And that chemistry is not easy to come by.
No, you're right, Jen, that it is. It's a really, but that's why you spend so much time with casting, and you do what, especially for leads like Phryne and Jack, you do chemistry tests in your audition process, and it's so important to actually see the actors in the room, and because sometimes you think they're going to have chemistry, but when they're on screen together, it's just not there. The added bonus with Essie and Nathan is that they are such good friends, and they knew each other from previous things, and they do have an amazing chemistry.
They have an amazing chemistry and amazing relationship outside of the movie. They have a shorthand with each other. They amuse each other. They're playful with each other, and I think they harness that when they go into the scenes. There's this kind of energy that they have for each other. You feel that brimming in their scenes. And when we got them together again after that big break in a read-through we did for the script, they sat across the table from each other in a very boring kind of office building with a whole lot of other people there listening. And the minute they started reading their lines and playing with each other again, we thought, they're on. They just have this. They know exactly what they're doing. They love the rhythms of it. They love the way the kind of energy between themselves, the emotional frisson between them. We're very lucky. But we did, as they said, we spent a long time casting because it's not just how they look with each other, it's how they play with each other for this show.
Let's talk a little bit, without giving anything away, without giving anything away, let's talk a little bit about the premise of the film.
Oh, yeah, how it came about?
You mean the story premise?
Yes.
Or the story premise was we knew we wanted a big story. Fee and I talked about Lawrence of Arabia and rolling sand dunes, and we did a location recce to Morocco when it was 45 degrees and the rolling sand dunes weren't quite as romantic then.
No, it's not.
But it was well worth it. Very hot.
Sandstorm pops up or something like that, yeah.
Well, we knew we wanted that kind of scale, and we knew we wanted a kind of world injustice she could fight. We knew we wanted to see her fly off in light planes and have adventures. And so we dug around in the kind of post-World War history, what was happening in 1929, tried to let all those things that we wanted circle around our imaginations for a while until they coalesced into this very personalised story set in British Palestine. But we knew, we sort of had a feeling of that, we had the smell of it and the feel of it that we wanted to achieve very early.
And also some about...
Yeah, Morocco and Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
So they're the actual locations, but in terms of scripting, it was for British Palestine and London.
And a bit of Melbourne, yeah.
Wow.
And and our references, I think what we wanted to do with taking it from the small screen to the big screen is we were very conscious of the journey we were going to take the audience, that we really wanted it to be a romp, and we had things like, our favourites of Romancing the Stone, which had that sort of tongue-in-cheek element, as well as our own take of Indiana Jones, with our great director Tony Tilts, and
a little Tintin thrown in there.
I gotta say, Romancing the Stone was one of my favorite films. So I think if you can hit that, you've got a winner. But it's
because that also had the sexual politics and banter in it that I think audiences love about Jack and Phryne.
Mm-hmm. There's that tension of the will they, won't they situation there. So
so we love playing with that. Well,
so will they or won't they? Come on, gang. Well, no spoiler alerts, but are you going to get them together in this movie or no?
Oh, well, you have to go and
see it. We can't tell you that.
Okay, fine. No, I'm not asking you to give away the farm. I'm just saying, are we getting closer? Can we say that?
There will be progress.
All right, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that so that we don't get anybody in trouble. No spoiler alerts. Well, guys, I got to say that we are very lucky here in the U.S. to be able to see through Acorn so many wonderful programs that come out of Australia. I mean, you've got The Hard Guy, you've got 800 Words, you've got, of course, A Place to Go Home, which was phenomenal. The television in Australia is top notch. I mean, really is. And you guys just keep knocking it out of the park. And we are fortunate, I think, here in the U.S. to be able to get to see it in a relatively short real time through, the folks at Acorn.
Yeah, they've found a little gold, a vein of gold, and we're doing a show with a British company called Bedouin, and Brian Elsleigh's part of that, and he says we're sort of like the hidden resource over here of creative talent, because we sort of get left alone a lot. We're out there, and we have to, because we're a small market, we have to be very versatile. So we've got great crew people, our directors of photography, our directors, our writers. So, but unfortunately, the world's starting to cotton on, and they're all going to LA and London,
Yes, we're losing a few directors and people like that to the States.
And our actors. So but yes, it's a great. We're supported. The government here supports the arts and supports the film and television industry, and I think it's a reflection of that depth. We've got fantastic film schools here that nurture talent, and so there's a depth of talent here over many years.
Well, I'm hooked for sure. And Deb and Fiona, thanks so much for joining us. We will make certain that everybody sees the new movie which you guys have put together, and we're all excited about it. And Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears coming to Acorn very, very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you all very much, and thanks for getting up this morning and working with us on this.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for all the support. And there are limited. Acorn are doing a theatrical release. It's screening, I think, in at least 39 cinemas over the US, and so hopefully that will just increase and keep going, because it is fun to see it on the big screen and then watch it again and again on Acorn TV.
Special thanks to Fiona, Eagger, and Deb Cox for joining us, the driving forces behind Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears. Also, of course, from Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries. If you haven't seen Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries, by all means, check it out. All 34 episodes over 3 series are available now on Acorn TV. And Monday, of course, will debut Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears. All that information is in our show box below. Be sure to check it out. Highly recommend. We will be back with more of Stream On right after this from our friends at Sundance Now. I can't tell you how excited I am to have Sundance Now as a sponsor. They are an ad-free streaming service created by AMC Networks for people just like you who appreciate thought-provoking storytelling with a fresh perspective. If meaningful shows are your jam, then I got to tell you, Sundance Now is your destination. Sundance Now offers the best true crime series, dramas, and thrillers from all over the world. Their original series, like McMafia, State of the Union, and The Cry, have received international praise along with numerous international awards. Now, you can stream Sundance Now on all of your favorite devices. I have it on my phone, on my connected TV through Roku, as well as on my iPad. So I can take it anywhere. You just download the app, watch online, discover these exclusive shows from all around the world instantly and on your schedule. So prime time is whenever you want it to be. And with Sundance Now, you've got plenty to pay attention to with all the outstanding shows. I am going to recommend one, though, to you. Let's start with Cheat. It's a real psychological thriller. Now, many of you recall that we recently had a conversation with the star of that series, the talented Catherine Kelly. Now, Kelly plays a professor at a prestigious university in the UK who catches one of her students cheating, and she reports her. Well, that is really just the start of what becomes an amazing roller coaster ride, because this student is quite devious in her attempts to get back and get some vengeance on her profession. Now, this 4-part mystery, I got to say, will have you twisted in knots as you try to figure out what's going to happen next. I guarantee you, you're not going to be able to. And the ending is just absolutely off the hook. Cheat. That should be the first thing you watch when you get to Sundance Now, but there's so many others. I mean, Sundance Now has got great programming. When we spoke to Nada Arnott, the general manager of Sundance Now, she told us how her and her entire team scour the world to get the best content available. And trust me, folks, when I tell you, she delivers 100%, as does the entire team there at Sundance Now. The fact that you can get Sundance Now for as low as $4.99 a month is absolutely stunning for such award-winning content. $4.99. That's just amazing. But we got a deal for you. That's right. Here we go, folks. You can start streaming your next obsession. And trust me when I tell you, there are so many shows here that are bingeable. All you have to do to get free 30-day trial is go to sundancenow.com and use the promo code STREAMON. That's sundancenow.com, code STREAMON for 30 days of free streaming. One more time, sundancenow.com, use the promo code STREAMON, and you get free 30 days to try it. Now, one last quick disclaimer, and that is Sundance Now is not affiliated with the Sundance Film Festival, okay? So Sundance Now is not affiliated with the Sundance Film Festival out there in Colorado. I'll tell you what we will do. All of this information will be in the show box below, as will links to our interview with the GM of Sundance Now, Nada Arnott, and of course, the interview with the star of Cheat, Catherine Kelly. All that's going to be in the show box below. You can do a deep dive on Sundance Now for 30 days, okay? Just go out to sundancenow.com. That's sundancenow.com. Use the promo code STREAMON. Do your deep dive. I guarantee you're going to subscribe. I did, and I know you will too. Okay? Thanks. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now, if you're not one of the 50,000 people who've taken the time to join our little party here, well, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, you make it simple. We're part of the Apple Podcast family, also part of the Google Podcast family. You can find us on Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, as well as on TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, and YouTube, just to name a few. Now, for some reason you can't find us, pull out the old Google machine and type in Stream On with Jim Williams. Hit the button, and you can either subscribe or hit us as a favorite. And each week you get a brand new edition of the show sent directly to your phone, your tablet, or to both. So by all means, go out there and do that for us today. If you do not mind, we greatly appreciate it. Now, I know a lot of people are looking for something to do, and they're streaming. Even if you don't have a streaming service, all right, but you still want to watch some stuff. Let's do a minute here or two on some things that you can do for free. I strongly recommend that you add Pluto TV. That's Pluto TV to your list. It's got tons of content for the entire family, as well as plenty of wonderful news and information coming from both CBSN and also ABC News, all right there for you. So by all means, check that out. Again, it's free, and you can get it and put it on your tablet, your phone, or your connected device. Same thing goes for Crackle. It's a Sony product, and lots of good movies and shows, again, for all the entire family. It's a free service. Also, you can download that on your phone, your tablet, or, again, on your connected device. I think at this point, CBS News, again, CBSN, our friends over there, by all means, that's a must-have app. Same thing for ABC News. Again, they have the new ABC Live, which gets into it, and ABC Live is running all the time on YouTube. So that's it. I also recommend there's a ton of great YouTube stuff. So by all means, that's also a wonderful opportunity to get things that the entire family can see. And all these are based on the concept it's free service. Many libraries out there are offering free movies and free audiobooks. Again, check your local libraries for that. And they can be downloaded to your computer, or of course they can be downloaded to your tablet. So either way, you get plenty of opportunity to check out stuff. And many of the streaming services are running outstanding deals. Sundance Now gives you 30 free days. As we said in our promo, just check that out as well. All that information will be in the promo box below. So by all means, check it out. The show box below have all that for you. Plenty of free content. Right now is a good time to stay connected, stay informed, and most of all, stay healthy. Okay? All right. Special thanks to our guests, of course. That's Fiona Eagger and Deb Cox, the executive producers of Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears, and also co-executive producers of Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries. All of that can be seen on Acorn TV, and the movie debuts on Acorn TV tomorrow night. Okay? All right. Until next time, I'm Jim Williams saying stay safe and stay healthy. All right, we'll see you in a week's time when we'll have some fun guests talking about Broadway and what's going on there, because we all know that New York has been hit really hard. And Stu Lane from Broadway HD, a multiple Tony Award-winning Broadway producer, will talk about what happened when the lights went out on Broadway, okay? So Broadway next week right here on Stream On. I'm Jim Williams for the entire crew at Stream On. We wish you nothing but happiness and health. Check us out next week. Until then, be well.